Hi, hello, how is everyone? Amanda, Saint Artist, here to talk about Saint makeup. Yesterday I was having a conversation with somebody about eyeshadows and I suggested the face makeup and they said, well, I like a more light coverage, so I don't think it'll work for me. And I said, oh, I never show this, really. I have before, but it's been a long time since I've shown how this is actually a light coverage makeup. That's the glorious thing. You don't need a bunch of bottles to achieve different looks. You need one compact, same colors to get your light coverage or your full coverage. And that's incredible. Plus, your contours, your bronzers, your blushes, they're all foundation. 18%, 80%. They're all coverage, which is amazing. And you don't get that with your blushes that you're using, your bronzers, your contours now. So I'm going to do my Summer Glow Kit and I'm going to knock it up a notch. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got my foundation, which is your main highlight. I've got my concealer, my brightening highlight. Today I'm going to use my bronzer and I'm going to use my lip and cheek, which is blush. And then if you're living in a more warm climate, I do think a setting powder is really important. And then I have a little illuminator. Down here, eyeshadows. I have a really simple, really easy eyeshadow look that's great for every day. So I'm going to do an everyday summer look with minimal coverage. I'm going to use the blend brush because this is a great brush for light coverage. The denser the brush, the more full the coverage. So this is a great brush for a light coverage. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the small end and I'm going to dip in to my main highlight and I just steeple some onto the end. That's really not a lot of product and I'm just going to mark up the beard area. So I get it right up here. Got something on my face right there. There we go. And I'm just going to mark up my beard area just a little bit. Steeple 2-3 times and I'm just going to mark up my beard area. Just getting all that. I have some discoloration, so I'm just putting it on areas to even out that skin tone. And I'm just going to pop some color right here. You don't see it too much because this is my foundation. It's going to match my skin tone. So when you want to try this makeup, you'll send me a makeup-free selfie in front of a window a couple of steps back. And that gives me your colors, all the tones, the light tones, the dark tones, the shadow tones, all of them. And I will color match you and you will have a custom palette just for your face. That's the glorious thing. This is for you. I am your personal shopper, essentially. I tell you what you need. I give you a link and it's all in your hands after that. It is not an auto ship. It is always free shipping no matter the price. And the great thing is these tiles, $14. That's it, $14 a tile. They last just as long as a normal foundation because of the pigmentation. You don't need a lot of product. All right, so I've got all of my main highlight on. I mean, I don't have a lot on. I don't. And I'm going to flip it to the fluffy end and I'm just going to give it a swirl and I'm going to blend it. It's a really light coverage. There we go. That's it. That's all it takes. Because it's cream, it's really movable. It puts it where you want it without picking up a bunch of product onto the brush. It just puts it where you need it and gives you the coverage that you need. All right, the next color I'm going to go into is my brightening color. Everybody's main highlight and brightening color is different. One person is not always the same as the next. So I don't usually share my main and brightening because it may not be yours. And a lot of people will think, I look like her, and then they'll get it and say, oh, this doesn't work. Well, that's because those were my colors, not yours. So message me, we'll get you your color. So I'm going into my brightening color, and I'm just gonna pop this right here. We wanna bring the lightness in, and using it under your eye really can brighten up the face, but I do that last just to clean up the shadow. All right, so the brightening color is a shade or two lighter than your skin tone. So while it looks like there's a lot of product, there's really not a lot on there. So I'm gonna flip it to the fluffy end, and I'm just gonna push this up and out and blend it down my nose. I'm gonna blend right here. And one of the important things about this makeup is you put your makeup on as if you have no discoloration and no blemishes. Because if you try to cover all that in the beginning, you could end up with too much makeup at the end. And so I like to correct after I've put all my makeup on. So I'm just taking this brush. Now I haven't added product to this. I'm just using this fluffy end just to blend. Okay, so now I'm gonna dip in to my bronzer and I'm just gonna kind of do it almost, I am gonna do it like it's a contour. I'm gonna warm up my forehead with it. I'm just gonna pop some here. I'm gonna pop some here. Now it looks like a lot because it's not my skin color. And I'm gonna put this on right here, kind of like a contour, but I'm also bringing it up like a blush, like that. And I'm gonna bring this down like a blush and a bronzer on both sides. I'm gonna warm up my jawline, and I'm gonna bring this down my neck. My neck is a lot lighter than my chest and my face, so I use the bronzer to bridge them together, that's all. I am going to come up and over my nose. This will just give me, it looks weird, it gives me kind of a bronzy, dewy glow. And it's not a lot of product, that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it to the fluffy end where I have not added product, and I am going to blend my jaw like this. And I'm just blending this out. I'm gonna come down to my neck and I'm gonna blend all of this together also. I'm gonna use the little end and just move it. But because it's cream, it just moves, blends like magic. So I'm just bringing this up, blending this, light touch, little circles. I'm not gouging this flat. I'm just rubbing it. Okay, so I'm gonna come up here, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just using little circles on the tips of the brush, and I'm just blending this out, adding warmth to my face, and it's kind of contouring, but it's also giving me a summer glow. And I'm gonna just put this on like a blush. I'm blending this all together, and it's like magic. You see how this all just comes together and it looks natural, dewy, and it's a really nice and light coverage. So all I've done is I look like I've gotten a little bit of a suntan while wearing glasses. Which, come on, if it's sunny out, we wearing glasses, and we're gonna have that mark. And so that's all that I'm doing is I'm just adding the warmth, but blending it out, and it doesn't look unnatural. And that's it. Okay? Okay, now I'm gonna go into my blush. So this is Bella Bronzer, this is Pink Grapefruit. I like this one a lot. And I'm gonna put this just on my cheeks here. And again, our blush is also our coverage. So I'm just using this and I'm fluffing this around, blending this around like a blush, flipping it, and I'm blending this. That's it. Just like that. And I have this nice summer glow and it looks natural. Just adding what I need, building it up. If you over apply it, you just keep blending and it'll blend it down. You can put a little on the nose if you want. And that's it. All right, so now I'm gonna move on to my eyeshadows, and then I will color correct under my eyes. I can feel a hair. Oh, I see her. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna take my brightening color, a little bit, and I'm gonna put this on my eyelid. If you have an eyeshadow primer that you love, by all means, use it. This is what I use. I just put on my brightening, and then I'm gonna set it with an eyeshadow. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my eyeshadow brush. It's this one right here. And I'm gonna flip it to my lower level to my shadows. So here's what I have. I'm gonna go into Pup, which is this really nice light brown color. Great for a base. I also use this powder to absorb the moisture of that highlight I put on. And I'm just putting this from lash to brow. And it's just a nice neutral brown, very light. It just goes so well together. Like that. Okay, so it's all over. The next color I'm going to go into right here is Leo. If you have brown eyes, if you have beautiful tan skin, this color looks gorgeous on everybody, even the fairest to the darkest. Leo is an incredible color to have. Everybody's scared of it because it's orange. Trust me. Okay, so I'm going to take the fluffy end and I'm going to dip in to Leo, and because I have hooded eyes, I'm gonna bring it way up here, and I'm just gonna pop this up on my brow bone, not all the way up to my eyebrow, but between the crease and the brow. And I'm just gonna put that right up here. Get it over here too. Just like that. So it's up high on that brow bone, such a good color. Just like that. And it's just this beautiful, it looks so scary here, But look at how pretty this is on my tan skin. Well, for me, this is tan. All right, next I'm gonna dive in to Philly. It's this nice brown. I absolutely have fallen in love with the color Philly. So I'm gonna use the small end of my eyeshadow brush, and I am gonna put this on my lash line, come out past the corner, and then I'm gonna come up into that crease and up a bit and push over just a little bit, flipping it to the fluffy end, and I'm gonna blend. So I'm just pushing it in, marrying Leo with Philly together, and it's gonna blend out and down, and it's such a pretty color. The other day I actually put it on my entire lid and up. I loved it. It's a really great neutral brown. Okay, I'm gonna use the small end again, put a little Philly on it, and I'm gonna do my lower lash line right like that. And that's it. And I'm gonna be cleaning up this shadow under my eye when I do my brightening. And so all I'm doing is kind of pulling my eye up by adding that outside the corner and up that brow. And then I'm bringing it in. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Put a little bit on, take care of that lash line, go out, and then I'm gonna push this up and into the crease and a little bit onto that brow bone. Just like that. Flip it, blend it, fluff it. Give it a good wipey poo. Bringing this up onto that brow bone, into that Leo, and all I'm doing is blending. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do my lash line, and I'm gonna marry it into, or bridge it up into that top color. Get that wiped up, clean it up. Okay, next I'm gonna go into Foxy. Foxy is a great topper shimmer. I love it. I'm gonna go in with the top of my fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I am going to cover my lid with it. It doesn't change too much. It just adds this beautiful shimmer, and then I'm gonna bring it into that Philly color, and it's so stunning. So I'm just putting it on the top, and I'm gonna put it right on my lid, and I'm gonna bring it over to that Philly. So, so, so pretty. And that's it. That's my eyeshadow. What a nice neutral eyeshadow look. All right, so let's get eyeliner. I've already done my brows. I use Seint eyeshadow for that. We have a wonderful wax if you're curious about that. This is, excuse me, my brow kit. I keep 2 browns and I keep our wax. And I use the line brush. It has a spoolie and it has a little angle at the end. Really good for eyebrows if you're looking for something. I'm going to line my waterline. I am going to get the lower waterline, and I'm going to pull these together. I'm going to push on that outer corner of my lash line and just smudge this into my lashes and pull it out. And I'm not making a cat eye. I'm just doing a nice accent. Again, waterline at the top, over here, waterline at the bottom, and then I'm meeting them, rubbing into that lash line, smudging it into that lash line, and then I'm pulling it out. So pretty. Such a good color. All right, I'm gonna go into my mascara, slap it on, and I'm gonna wiggle, wiggle up, wiggle, wiggle up. And get my lower lash. Same over here. Let's get this done. Wiggle, wiggle, pull. I just can't. I've seen people who apply mascara with the blink method, and I can't. I just can't. I don't feel like it really gets down in there. All right. Get that lower lash line. There we go. All right. Let's do the under eye. I set my brush down right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my brightening color again, and I am gonna go under my eye here. Now I'm not adding a lot of product. Do you see that? I'm just adding a little bit there and a little bit here, and then whatever's left, I bring it together. This brightens the eyes, it will pull it up, and it'll make you look more youthful and more awake. Brightening your eyes is the best trick you can ever have in your arsenal. If you don't want to brighten down the middle, brighten just under your eye. It's the best mom hack. All right, a little bit over here. Now, again, I don't have a lot on. You don't need a lot because remember, it's 80% pigmentation and it's a lighter shade than your skin tone. So it shows up more, but it's not because there's so much on there. I'm flipping it to this end and I'm just giving this a light fluffing like that. And I'm bringing it down. I don't keep my brightening on my soft tissue. I put it on my orbital a bit just so I don't accentuate or make my eyes look puffier than they are. So it's a camouflager, and it also, if you just put it on your soft tissue, it can make it look more puffy and accentuate the fact that there's a soft tissue there. Everybody has it. You have an orbital bone, you got an eyeball, you have soft tissue there, but you should just bridge it together. All right, and that's it. This is a light coverage, light coverage. I have barely makeup on. I also have one layer of makeup on. I haven't covered my face in a light foundation and then topped it with concealer. I haven't topped it with my blush. I haven't topped it with bronzer and contour. I have one layer of makeup on. So if my makeup looks full, keep in mind, it's also one layer of makeup. So all that bright blush and all that dark contour that you see is not on top of anything. It's one layer. And so I feel like that's kind of the misconception, is that if you see bold makeup, that it's heavy makeup and it's layered makeup and it's textured makeup. This isn't textured makeup. So if you like a matte finish or you're in a warmer climate, I would suggest using a setting powder. We have Vanilla Dust. It's a fine, well-pressed powder, and it doesn't add color. It'll just matte out on those areas where you get movement, where you get extra shine. That's all it's doing. So I get shiny right here and here, and I got it up here. And that's it. It doesn't take a lot. I do have a shimmer here. This is Starlet, and it is surprisingly gorgeous. It just looks like this white color. It's actually, I don't even know if you can see, it has an iridescence to it, little pink hues that look so good on all skin types. So just put a little on my nose and I'm fluffing it up. I am gonna take my lip and cheek, the color I put on my cheeks, and I'm gonna put it on my lips. Your whole face, one dang palette. How pretty. I just look nice and natural. You could even take this shimmer and you can pop it up here, just under the brow, and it'll just be that little extra, just like that. It's such a great makeup. So again, just because you see me wearing bright, bold colors on my face, it's not a lot of product, but you can make it even lighter and more natural. So this is a nice and natural look with little product. The makeup will last you six to 9 months. And the only ones you're gonna need to replace are your main and your brightening, usually just your main. Your bronzer will last you over a year. Your lip and cheek can last you over a year. It just depends on how frequently you wear makeup and how deep you want your color. But this is one layer of makeup. And when I look like I've got full coverage, one layer of makeup. All right, message me if you want to try this makeup. I love it, which is why I push it, which is why I sell it. I used this makeup for almost 2 years now. I didn't start selling it until 6 months ago. And so I really sat and hummed and hawed on if I wanted to do this, because I share things all the time with friends. Whenever you see friends, it's like, oh, I love your lipstick. What is it? And you tell them what your lipstick is. You tell your friends, oh my gosh, you've got to try this Bare Minerals balm. First off, you want that. That's really super good. And you tell them about it all the time. I'm just telling you one more thing that I love, and I get to sell it. That's awesome. Okay. Message me if you want to try this. Again, it's not a full coverage. It's not a heavy makeup. It can be light, and it can be natural, and it can be beautiful. I'm out. Have a good day.